Hey guys, Stable at VGC here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climbing. Today we're rocking a brand new team featuring Duskmane Necrozma, Rayquaza, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Incineroar, and Amoonguss. Basically, I just kind of threw this team together. I said, you know what, I haven't used Ultra Necrozma in a while. Let's bring that back. Rayquaza, it's been a few teams since I've used that thing, so why not throw that back in the mix. Rock Tapu Koko beside it for the fast nature power support. Puts a lot of things in range for Rayquaza and Necro. Obviously, I have the Psychic Spam option as well with the Tapu Lele Necrozma. And Incineroar, because it's Incineroar. And Amoonguss is there to basically give me another Kyogre switch in. Also has the Grass Knot and the Rage Powder ability for support. Obviously, Spore as well is also nice. Tough to go for Spore when you have your own Koko, but it's there in case I need it. So, I am currently recording this exactly 2 weeks before Sun and Moon. Not Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon's been out for 3 years, right? But 2 weeks before Sword and Shield comes out. So I'm really... Hey, we actually found something. I was just about to say I'm not sure who we're going to find on the ladder, but we're here. When we do find... I'm going to assume that's Suse. I'm going to butcher that. I'm sorry. But Suse VGC with Rayquaza, Kyogre, Zapdos, Ferrothorn, Incineroar, and Gengar. So... I'm not horrified here. My biggest concern is that something like Focus Sash Gengar with Trick Room. That would be my biggest concern. Other than that, I think I'm okay to go Psychic Spam. Like, I don't see what he does to stop this. Yeah, I really don't see an answer to this for him. Rayquaza is going to come in the back because it's Rayquaza and I very much so need it. Incineroar is probably the next best pick. But there's something about Tapu Koko that I kind of want right now. Something about that Tapu Koko kind of makes me want it. Like, I don't know, like Incineroar is good for the Intimidate and for that Ferrothorn. Which I guess is more important. I guess I really need to hit that Ferrothorn. So I will go with Incineroar. I've convinced myself. But my opponent did have a pretty high rating of 1765. So if we do manage to win this, we'll jump back into the 1700s. Which is honestly where I want to be for this series. I mean, I'm not pushing for like 1900s or 1800s with these teams that I'm using. So having fun is basically my main goal in this series. I think for Sword and Shield, I'm going to start doing like more competitive teams and then still have the Crazy Climbing on the side as well. But that's the Sword and Shield moment. Right now we're focused on this battle right here. We've got Ferrothorn and Rayquaza for my opponent. And I'm honestly pretty happy with my position right now. I am super, super happy with my position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Incineroar. Get that Intimidate off. And I'm just going to drop a Calm Mind. And I'm not going to burst right here. Because if I burst, the Dragon Ascent is going to do massive amounts of damage to me. Gyro Ball will start hitting me hard. But if I stay Duskmane, he doesn't really have a way to really hit me for big damage. I mean, Earth Power from Rayquaza could be something that comes out. But I mean, with the what's my ability? Prism Armor? I think it's Prism Armor. But with the Prism Armor, I'm going to be taking less damage from that anyways. So it shouldn't really be doing over 50%. So I'm pretty comfortable staying like this and going for a Calm Mind. But Incineroar is going to come in. Going to bring off that Intimidate. Going to hit that Rayquaza. Going to Intimidate that Ferrothorn as well. Rayquaza is indeed going to swap out. Going to bring in the Incineroar. So, super, super happy that I went for a Calm Mind here and didn't just drop a Photon into that Rayquaza. Of course, he's going to get the Intimidates now. That literally does not affect me whatsoever. And Necro's going to sit here and get a Calm Mind off. So, I really do like Calm Mind on Necrozma here. I think it's a lot better than Sunsteel Strike. I can play around Xerneas, but it's a lot tougher to play around stuff like that I can't hit. Like, normally Incineroar comes in here and I'm a bit walled, but now I'm at +1. What I am going to do is I could Flare Blitz here, but doesn't matter. If I Flare Blitz and he swaps into Ogre, Ogre just takes massive damage. So I think I'm going to Flare Blitz. If he swaps into Ogre, it's good for him. I will Ultra Burst now, and I'm going to go for this +1 Earth Power into this Incineroar. Now, depending on his spread, this is going to be pretty close to a knockout with Neuro Force. So, if I do get that knockout, I think we just win. If I don't, then we got to figure out if Incineroar is probably going to be Z-move, which it probably will be. And at that point, I'll probably just die. But, as of right now, I'm not in a bad position. Maybe I could have doubled the Incineroar. Maybe I should have Photon Geysed that slot. That would have been pretty impressive. But, I really hope Earth Power kills. I should have U-turned. Should have U-turned and Earth Power this instant. But I mean, if Earth Power doesn't kill, it's just going to proc a berry anyways. So, Incineroar is going to probably get through this turn. Could have protected maybe. But we'll see what Incineroar wants to go for here. Maybe he'll predict me to protect and go for something like a U-turn. I mean, he also might think I'm regular Necrozma as well because it didn't burst. But here I am going to burst. I'm assuming he expects me to burst after the Combine. No regular Necrozma would actually stay in and just Combine and stay regular like that. So Necrozma is going to go for the Earth Power. We're going to go launch this into the Incineroar here. Is it enough? It is indeed enough to pick up that knockout cleanly. So maybe that was a bit of a more offensive Incineroar there with the Z move, as I mentioned earlier. But now I'm in a perfect, almost perfect position. The one thing I do want to point out is I am modest Necrozma. So if that is max speed Rayquaza on his side of the field, he will indeed outspeed me. But I figured modest was just the better of the two options. Like, hitting 199 doesn't gain me anymore, but hitting them with modest, I get so many more knockouts, like that one on Incineroar there. So, always nice to go for, always nice to have. What I am going to do here is I don't know. I'm going to swap into Ray. And I am just going to protect my Necro here. I feel like he might try to protect Kyogre here from the Z move. So Incineroar is going to come back, and Necro is just going to click Protect. I mean, we're probably going to see Protect and a Gyro Ball. That would be my guess, if I had to predict something. But Rayquaza is going to get the effects of Airlock onto the field, and Necrozma is going to click Protect. So we'll see what my opponent wants to go for here. And it is going to be the Protect from that Kyogre, as expected, so I can safely launch the Z move into that slot the following turn. Ferrothorn is going to go for the Gyro Ball into the Necrozma. So absolutely perfect turn on my end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap back into Incineroar here, and I'm just going to launch this Z move, and I'm going to launch it straight into the Kyogre slot. This will pick up the knockout on Kyogre, this will pick up the knockout on Rayquaza. There is nothing he can do other than maybe get a double protect. So Incineroar is going to come back in, going to get the Intimidate onto that Ferrothorn as well as the Kyogre. Not that it's going to matter on the Kyogre, he's going to be special anyways with the Ogre. But, I mean, he could be physical Kyogre, rocking that, does he get Liquidation or Waterfall? Either way, he's going to swap out Kyogre here. That's going to bring in the Rayquaza. With Rayquaza coming in, Rayquaza should get obliterated by this. There's no way, I can't see Rayquaza living this in any world. But, I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. But, Z-move coming out here, and I do have to block this out for you guys. You know, one day, Pokemon won't copyright all this stuff, but, I mean, I guess it makes sense for them to copyright. But, like, if they're going to copyright, be consistent. Like, why is Incineroar's okay, but this one's not? At one point, like, I think is it because of the trailers? Like, these ones were in their own trailers, but wasn't Incineroar's in its own trailer too? I don't know. I'm very confused. But regardless of this, we're gonna generate this giant ball of light right now. It's circling above our heads. We're gonna launch this straight into this Rayquaza. I'll try to commentate the damage, but I'd be shocked if this Rayquaza survived this. I will be like completely and utterly shocked. So that's gonna smack into Rayquaza here. And Rayquaza is going to get, yeah, blown to death. Alright, as expected. You guys can now see the screen. Rayquaza is indeed going to faint, but that wasn't too surprising. And Ferrothorn's going to launch a Gyro Ball here. Gyro Ball into Necro. Not going to do a whole lot of damage because it's -1. Basically, all I have to do is preserve Incineroar right now and start launching attacks into Kyogre, and this game will be over. I'm going to swap Incineroar out into the Rayquaza. That'll weaken his water spouts. Obviously, don't think he's really going to go for a Water Spout. He probably goes for something like an Ice Beam into my Necro. But probably doubles Necro here. I am going to go back out into Rayquaza, as I mentioned. And I am just going to drop a Photon Geyser into this Kyogre. I think we're in a pretty good position right now. I don't really see how my opponent gets out of this. I mean, he could get like a double protect on Kyogre, kill my Necrozma, but then I still have a Incineroar, and a Rayquaza, and a Tapu Lele. Like, I have my speed control here is just outspeed everything. He's not even going to go for the protect, just going to try and hang on for this +1 Photon Geyser, and he actually is going to do it, so that worked out well for him. He is going to drop an Ice Beam. If he goes, yeah, I was just about to say, if he goes into Rayquaza here, we have issues. He does indeed go into the Rayquaza switch, and so very well played on my opponent's end there, and Ferrothorn's going to click an immediate Gyro Ball. I still think we're in a fine position here because we have Tapu Lele in the back. That also outspeeds this Kyogre. So basically, he'd need a double protect with Kyogre. Actually, a triple. No, a double, because I can't come into Fake Out anymore. Okay, so Lele's on the field. Maybe I should have brought Incineroar in right there. That way I could have faked out and probably could have been a better idea. But at this point, my main goal is here, double Kyogre. In fact, I almost want to protect Necrozma. Because we know he's protecting Kyogre. We know he's protecting Kyogre. And if he doesn't protect Kyogre, he's just dead. I'm going to protect Necrozma just to make sure That way I can keep it around for another turn. He might target Lele here. I'm not concerned if he does. I won't be concerned at all. But Necrozma is going to protect. Kyogre is going to protect. He should be targeting Necrozma here. And I'm not even sure if he can kill Lele at -1. That's a good point too. If he can't kill Lele at -1, then this is the correct play. He does indeed go into that Necrozma. So that gives me an extra turn here. And I am going to go straight for the Psyshock and the Photon into this Kyogre. If the Kyogre doesn't get the double protect, it is going to be game over. He does indeed miss. Tapu Lele is going to go for the Psyshock. That will indeed pick up the knockout onto that Kyogre. And we're going to see where this Photon, how much this Photon Geyser does to this Ferrothorn. Normally it does a pretty good chunk at +1. I'd say probably close to 50% because we're in terrain. But we'll see. I know the Z move would have knocked out this Ferrothorn immediately. But yeah, so Ferrothorn takes just over 50% right there. And he is going to go for that Gyro Ball. Probably going to knock out my Necro here. I'm not concerned at all. Yeah. Go ahead and knock that out. I have my Incineroar in the back to win this game. And this one's all but done. All but said and done. So, super, I want to say positioning game. That turn 1 was huge. Getting that Calm Mind up immediately. And basically I forced his switch, right? By leading Lele and he led Ray. I had a good indication that he wasn't going to be Assault Vest, because if he was Assault Vest, he would have stayed in. So Ray obviously forced to swap out right there. I'm forced to go for Psyshock here. Let me just click my moves so we can get to another battle. But Ray forced to swap out right there, and Ferrothorn literally not able to touch Duskmane Necrozma. Let me get the free Calm Mind off, and then from there I basically just bodied him. Like he really had to call every turn correctly, and even then he could barely touch me. Like he didn't have a Necrozma answer as soon as his Incineroar was gone. So that +1 allowing me to get that Earth Power and Incineroar literally won me the game. Ferrothorn gonna get blitzed there, right to death. Crit, I definitely don't think that mattered. I mean, it might... No, it definitely didn't. It might hurt his morale a little bit, but it definitely didn't matter. So we are going to take a win right there versus Suse VGC. I definitely butchered that name again. So once again, I apologize, but we're going to win. And I guess go for one more. Hopefully we can actually find somebody. But as I was saying earlier, Sword and Shield is around the corner. Literally 2 weeks from the day I'm recording this. So my plan is to, as soon as Sword and Shield comes out, is to continue with content, but I'm going to switch over to Showdown to get some Sword and Shield content for you guys, because I'm not too sure how fast I'll be able to get through the game and get a team for you guys. So as soon as I get a team in-game, of course I'll jump back onto whatever in-game laddering system they have for VGC or for Sword and Shield. But until that point, I will be going back to Showdown content just for the time being. But let's hope we find somebody here, because honestly, I'm not too sure how many people we're actually going to find. Oh, I got somebody. Alright, we're finally back. That was 20 minutes for me, actually. So, doesn't come as too much of a surprise to you. You could probably see the cut I'm going to do. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious when I cut the videos and when I don't. But yeah, that was like 20 minutes for me. Probably like 3 seconds for you guys, but 20 minutes for me, so... Big deal when I find a battle right now. Big deal. But we are going to see another Rayquaza Kyogre team with a supporting cast of Mimikyu, Tapu Fini, Incineroar, and Ferrothorn. So similar to my opponent's the last opponent's team, but definitely has its fair share of differences as well, with the Tapu Fini and the Mimikyu. So once again, I think I can probably pretty safely just go Lele Necro. Like, I don't see a reason not to. Like, what's stopping me from bringing Lele Necro? I don't see anything stopping me from bringing Lele Necro. Yeah, I really don't. I personally don't. I seriously don't. Like, what's stopping me? Maybe the Ferrothorn, but we saw how big of a deal that was last game. That literally meant nothing. So, bringing Lele Necro here, it's a bit annoying based on the fact that he can switch terrain and get some fake outs off now. So, a little bit different there. But I definitely want to have Ray in the back for sure. And once again, it's one of the things where it's like, do I want Ferrothorn or Tapu Koko, Incineroar or Tapu Koko? I think the answer is once again Incineroar. It just helps against that Mimikyu this time as well as the Ferrothorn. Obviously, the Intimidate onto the Rayquaza, and I believe was that an Amoonguss in his last slot, which might also be different from my opponent's last team as well. So if that wasn't Amoonguss there, that Incineroar is gonna come help out immensely. I mean, we do have the Psychic Spam option for the Amoonguss, so if it is Amoonguss, he's not gonna bring it. He's gonna lead double restricted immediately. So my opponent, not wasting any time, he's going straight for it. Alright, so The thing is, I want to stay as the regular Necrozma here. But what scares me is the fact that he's got the Kyogre. The fact that he has the Kyogre is super, super annoying. Just on, like, it's not too annoying. Like, I could just burst here. Let me clear my throat. But he could just burst here. Like, I could just burst, but if he calls that, like, and like I said earlier, I'm not faster than a max speed Rayquaza. Like, if this thing's Assault Vest, which they normally aren't, so I'm just going to go for the Moonblast, and I am indeed going to burst, and I am going to protect. I could burst Calm Mind, though. No, I'm going to burst and protect here. I think it just gives me the best case scenario for the next turn. It allows me to fire off a Z move if I potentially want to into that Kyogre. The Kyogre should not be living that. I'd be shocked if it did, but we'll have to see. Like, Necrozma is just super, super good, but it brings upon a lot of 50-50s, I find. Like, you're going to kill something if you call the slot right. Like, I find out a lot with Ultra Series, too, in general. Like, there's a lot of teams in Ultra Series, like, if you get the calls right, you find that's probably going to be Incineroar coming in for the Kyogre, I would imagine. It's likely going to be the Tapu Fini. So, not too certain of what this Rayquaza really wants to do here now. Maybe trying to set up an E-Speed if he doesn't kill, like, my Tapu Lele or something. But he is indeed going to Mega. Obviously, that's not too surprising here. So, my opponent is going to drop the Mega Rayquaza here. I'm assuming, well, Lele should still be faster and will not die to an extreme speed. However, I don't know if Moonblast is actually going to pick up a knockout. I believe most Rayquazas end up surviving on, like, just a little bit of HP. So if the Rayquaza survives, I won't be shocked or mad. But, like, if I get the kill, it'll be fantastic. So we have to see what we get here. Maybe it'll be Scarfed Rayquaza. Could you imagine Scarf Mega Ray? Like, that would be dumb. Like, I think that would be pretty dumb. Rayquaza is actually just going to protect here, so I'm okay with this as well. Did Necrozma protect, Necro protect first? Yeah, Necro protected first, so that should mean we are indeed faster than that Rayquaza. So because we are faster than that Rayquaza here, I'm simply just going to double into him with a Moonblast and a Photon Geyser. If he swaps into Rayquaza, if he swaps into Incineroar, that's fine by me. He doesn't really have much of a swap in here, he just protected. I'm assuming Incineroar is going to be his last Pokemon. You don't not bring Incineroar against Psychic Spam. I could have Earth Powered there, made the hard read, but if at the off chance it's Coco, it's Ferrothorn. Okay, so I'm happy. This is a decent chunk of damage. Nothing major. We're probably going to see like an Icy Wind come out from my opponent. But Moonblast going to clip Ferrothorn a little bit. Photon Geyser also going to clip Ferrothorn a little bit. Getting that special attack drop, not going to matter at all if it's a Ferrothorn, unless he pulls out like Acid Spray. But yeah, Photon Geyser just does so much damage. In fact, I might not even need to swap out, because I am going to kill that Ferrothorn if I want to pop my Z move there. And I'm debating it. I really am debating just popping my Z move into that Ferrothorn for the knockout. I do think swapping into Incineroar, though, is a little bit safer. Yeah, it's a little bit safer. Not going to waste my Z move immediately, but not seeing Incineroar is huge. So I'm going to Moonblast a Finny just to get some chip damage onto it and bring in Incineroar here. If he doesn't swap into Kyogre here, next turn we have a few mind games. We have a few mind games if he doesn't swap into Kyogre here. If I'm my opponent, I'm probably thinking about bringing in Kyogre. Like, I can't really do much to it anymore. I'm slower. You know I probably want to swap out. Probably my Incineroar coming in the back. You can probably make the call saying, yeah, he's going to bring in his Incineroar here. I'm going to bring in my Ogre just to be a one turn ahead of me. So if he goes for that, we're in a bit of a pickle, but I'm not too concerned right now. I'm not too concerned by any means. Necro is indeed going to switch out, so no indication right now if he's going to switch out or not. Incineroar is going to come in, drop the Intimidate onto this Ferrothorn and onto this Tapu Fini. Not going to matter on the Fini, of course, but, you know, I figured I'd commentate. Ferrothorn is just going to protect, so he was indeed scared of me just busting my Z move right there. And Lele is going to drop a Moonblast. That's going to go into this Tapu Fini right now for some damage. That did a lot more damage than I expected it to, so it is going to indeed be a critical hit. Tapu Fini's special attack is going to drop, and we are going to see a Moonblast that is going to go into Lele. It's only fair that he also gets the special attack drop. He does not. Okay. Ferrothorn cannot protect. I almost want to swap into Ray and Flare Blitz that slot, but the fact that he could stay in with Fini and Moonblast my Ray is a bit annoying. So obviously I'm locked into Moonblast if I decide to stay in. He's going to swap an Ogre. What I am going to do is I am going to U-turn. I'm going to U-turn off of the Ferrothorn, and I'm going to Moonblast the Ferrothorn here. This will get some chip damage onto it. This will basically wreck all of its leftover recovery. He's going to switch out to Finny, so I could have done what I wanted to do and gone for the race, swapping into Flare Blitz. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case here, that I'm not going to be able to get that off. But not the end of the world right now. Part of me wishes I would have Moonblasted that Kyogre, though. That would have probably been a little bit better to Moonblast that Kyogre slot, but here's a Moonblast going into Ferrothorn. U-turn coming out from off the Ferrothorn as well. Obviously, I'm going to get Iron Barbs here, but that's not the end of the world. Incineroar is hurt by Iron Barbs. Instant comes back to Ryan. I am going to go back into Necro here. I would find it very surprising if he goes for the Gyro Ball into this slot. So bringing in Necro just puts on immense pressure against this Kyogre and puts me in what I would say is a pretty decent position. So Necro coming back in. Ferrothorn going to Gyro Ball. This should probably just pick up this Tapu Lele. Wouldn't surprise me if it did. It does indeed. That's not surprising at all. But now I bring in Rayquaza. And now we're in a pretty decent spot. See, Kyogre's got to be scared here, right? Like I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to assume Kyogre's going to be scared, and I'm just going to simply click Calm Mind and Dragon Ascent, but I'm going to Dragon Ascent the Ferrothorn. I'm assuming Kyogre knows he's not going to be able to take this Z-move, or maybe he knows he will live it outside of terrain. I don't know. But I am going to make the call that he is going to protect his Kyogre here, and I'm going to not Light That Burns the Sky. I'm just going to simply click Calm Mind here. I feel like if I can get a Calm Mind up without taking damage, I'm in a really, really good position. Kyogre, we already saw that he was scared of the Z-move in the previous turn, so maybe he'll protect here. He doesn't swap out though, so I mean, he didn't really have a switch into the Z-move, so that's not too surprising. I'd imagine if he's scared of it, he'll protect. But Rayquaza is going to indeed Mega Evolve here. Gonna drop that Dragon Ascent into the Ferrothorn. Hopefully Kyogre is going to protect. The opposing Ferrothorn is going to protect, meaning Kyogre did not protect. This is a bit alarming on my end. Rayquaza going to Dragon Ascent. Yeah, that's definitely the wrong call right there. Kyogre is going to... Well, Necro is going to go for the Calm Mind first. So if he Ice Beams my Ray, this is fine. If he Ice Beams Necrozma, we have a few more issues. Things get a little bit more dicey. He does go for the Ice Beam. That is as expected. Probably into my Necrozma. Unfortunately, Necro is going to take that relatively well. Can't get frozen because of the Misty Terrain. And now I'm in a good spot. I think I launched the Z-move into Kyogre regardless. If I don't pick up the knock, like obviously if he doesn't protect, I'll pick up the knockout. If he protects, I do massive amounts of damage to him anyways. We're going to drop a Dragon Ascent. That's going to go into the Ferrothorn. That's guaranteed to hit. Now I'm going to Photon Geyser here, and I'm going to burn that, Light That Burns That Sky into the Kyogre, and hopefully pick up a knockout here. It is a bit annoying that he could simply pick up Necrozma now with an extreme speed, which is a bit of which could be problematic, but I also don't know the item on that Rayquaza. I would like to swap in Intimidate when he goes for the E-Speed, but we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully there's no Protect from this Kyogre. I just over-predicted big time. Maybe he knows he would have survived the Photon though, right? So, I don't know. If he would have survived that Photon, that would have been surprising to me. So, maybe I should have just gone for it. Ray's going to drop the Dragon Ascent, and he is indeed going to let me get that Z-move off this time, and that will go into the Kyogre. But first things first, Rayquaza is going to get launched out of the sky right here into the Ferrothorn, and that's going to pick up the knockout. No doubt in my mind about that one. Rayquaza is going to finish off that Ferrothorn. As I mentioned, the Iron Barb's a bit annoying, not sashed anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. And now I'm going to launch this Z-move. And now, unfortunately, you guys are going to get to not see the Z-move again. But that's twice in this episode that, you know, Light That Burns the Sky comes out. But, you know what, it's going to burn the sky. If it's able to burn the sky, it's able to burn our eyes. That's why Game Freak copyrighted it. I just clued in right now. That's why they copyrighted it. If it's going to burn the sky, it's going to burn our eyes as well. So, they're just looking out for their fans. That's what I'm going with here. But Necrozma, back to the game, Necrozma is indeed going to generate this giant ball of light. I don't know where it's generating the light from. I guess it's taking the life out of... Does it take the life out of the trainer? Because, you know, in the animation, like, it just drops. Like, is it taking the life out of the light out of the trainer, I should say? But this giant ball of light, at +1, going to get launched straight into this Kyogre. And we're going to see the damage output here. It should pick up the knockout. I'd be shocked if it didn't. It does indeed pick up that knockout. So Kyogre is going to get up and out of here. And we're going to see, well, we know what my opponent's last two Pokemon are. And now things are interesting here. We know my Necrozma is faster than his Rayquaza, which is fantastic. Because that means my Rayquaza is faster than his Rayquaza. So what I am going to do here is I am just going to Dragon Ascent the Tapu Fini. because of the range he's at, this will indeed pick up a knockout with my Life Orb Dragon Ascent. And then from there it becomes, if he kills Ray, that's fine. Because then I have Fake Out Dragon Ascent pressure. Fake Out Photon Geyser pressure. And I'm just going to protect here, because I don't want to take a potential E-Speed. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Finish didn't have Protect, so Finish should be dead here. Tapu Finish should die. Hopefully this is something, I'm assuming the way he had Protect and the fact that he's slower than Necrozma here, I'm assuming this is going to be like something like Swords Dance and a Guava Berry or some sort of berry. Pinch Berry maybe, which would be expected, but I could be wrong. He might just be slow. He can't be AV anymore because of the Protect he went for turn 1. So Rayquaza is indeed going to be faster as mentioned, and going to drop the Dragon Ascent into this Tapu Fini, and that will pick up the knockout. There's no doubt in my mind this is going to come through for that knockout. Yep, Tapu Fini is indeed going to drop. We are going to see where this Rayquaza wants to go. Where does he want to drop his attack right now? Hopefully he wants to go into that Necro. Obviously he didn't go E-Speed though, so he is going to drop an Earth Power. That's going to go into Necro. So Earth Power is slightly surprising for him, maybe predicting me to swap into Instant. Trying to overread there. He is on the back foot right now. But right now I'm in a really good position. I get a Dragon Ascent off into the Rayquaza that I am faster than. And I also get a +1 Photon Geyser into the Rayquaza that I'm faster than. He has to E-Speed here. He's forced to. But he is just going to forfeit here. So we are going to pick up that win again. So Necrozma just proving to be too much for my opponents to handle. So super happy with those 2 wins right there. That should bring us above 17-15, around 17-15 to start the next episode. But of course, as always, thanks for watching this one, guys. And I will see you guys in the next one.